how did you acknowledge that the lack of connection in your life was due to your phone?
Yeah, so first in terms of like friendships, I mean, my dearest friends, pretty much all we did was text. And I realized that there was just so much I was missing out on in terms of like my dear friends and their lives, and it was just so like superficial that ultimately when I did turn my phone off and texting was removed from the equation, for my dearest friends, we really had to invest in the relationship. Otherwise, it would fizzle. So let's say, for example, I'd have an average of 35 or 40 text message threads, let's say, in a given month with 35 to 40 different people. Well, many of those relationships, they did fizzle out as a result. But for the people who I cared about most in my life, we got that much closer as a result of turning off my phone. Now, in terms of my wife, it was a complete game changer. For people who have partners, they can very much relate to this. We would text throughout the day, me and my wife. And by the time we get home at night, there was nothing else to talk about because we literally had just like texted throughout the day. So when we'd get home from work, we would get really excited because, you know, we didn't totally waste that. We were able to like really be excited what happened today. Then after we put the kids to sleep, we would sit down together, and what would happen before I would turn my phone off is that we'd just be looking down at our phones. So we were together, but really not together. Take the smartphone out of the equation, we were able to connect on such a deeper level. So I realized before I went through all this and I was spending hours a day on my phone, I realized that, you know what, these connections that I thought were close, whether it be with my wife or with my dearest friends, they really weren't that close.
Yeah, the lack of availability through the digital world actually enhances the physical conversation when it comes because of its rarity almost.
Yes. There was another couple I interviewed who were maintaining a long-distance relationship. She was in college in Leeds in the UK, and he was in college in Northern Ireland. Long-distance relationship. The breakup style they did is one of the four I talk about is called basically breaking up with someone else, like quitting with someone else. So basically quit your smartphone with either a partner, a spouse, a family member. It creates this extra sense of accountability. In any event, they broke up with their phones together. They turned their smartphones off. They went to basic phones. And you think, how on earth in this day and age are you able to maintain a long-distance relationship without smartphones? Well, what they did was, instead of texting each other and sending each other emojis throughout the day, they spent time 1 to 2 times a week talking for 3 to 4 hours. So for them, like, there was this stress. We talked about it earlier. Like, you're not sure when the next text is going to come in. You're in class and you're not sure when that buzz is going to happen from your girlfriend who's over in the UK. All right, now there's predictability. Now you know on Sunday and let's say Wednesday in the evening, we're going to carve out 3 to 4 hours where we are literally going to talk about everything. And they said they discovered things about each other they didn't even know. And they had been dating since they were in high school. And I thought that was absolutely incredible. So those are just 2 quick insights. I don't want to monopolize all the time about just, conversation and relationships when it comes to doing this in college. But I found it to be just very, very powerful.
Yo, if you like that, then you're gonna like this. The full episode. Come on. You know you want to click it. Come on. Alright, well, if you're not gonna click that, you might as well subscribe.